Long ago, on the edge of a deep and whispering forest, lived a poor but kind-hearted couple. Their greatest wish, the one they prayed for day and night, was for a child to fill their quiet home with laughter. Behind their small cottage stood a tall, imposing stone wall. Beyond it was a place of both wonder and fear, the garden of a powerful sorceress known as Dame Gothel. Her garden was legendary. It held magical plants that could heal the sick, restore youth, and grant incredible strength. But among all these wonders, one plant was the most precious of all, rampion, its leaves glowing with the very essence of life. One day, the woman fell terribly ill. Her body grew weak, her breath became faint, and she developed an overwhelming craving for just one thing. Rampions, she whispered, her voice barely audible. If I cannot eat them, I will surely die. Her husband's heart froze with terror. He knew exactly where the rampion grew, and he knew the terrible price of trespassing in Gothel's garden. But love, when driven by desperation, can be reckless. That night, under the cover of deep shadows, he scaled the wall. He gathered the glowing leaves, his hands trembling. His wife ate them, and just as he hoped, her strength returned almost immediately. But as he climbed back down the wall, a cold, sharp voice cut through the air. You steal from me? Dame Gothel stepped out from the darkness, her eyes like daggers. The man fell to his knees, pleading, Please, my wife was dying. The sorceress smiled, a slow, chilling smile. Very well, she said, take what you need. But in return, the child she is to bear will belong to me. With no other choice, the desperate husband made the promise. Months later, when a beautiful, healthy baby girl was born, Dame Gothel returned as she said she would. Without a moment's hesitation, she took the child from her mother's arms. She will be cared for, Gothel said coolly, but she is mine. And so, the child was named Rapunzel, after the very plant that had sealed her fate. Gothel raised Rapunzel in complete isolation, hidden away in a tall, lonely tower deep within the forest. This tower was a perfect prison. It had no door and no stairs, only a single window near the very top, almost touching the clouds. The girl grew up knowing nothing of the world beyond her stone walls. But Rapunzel was no ordinary child. Her hair grew long, impossibly long, and it shone with the brilliance of pure sunlight. And woven within those golden strands was a powerful magic, the magic to heal wounds and restore youth. Dame Gothel used this magic every day to keep herself young, all while whispering lies into Rapunzel's innocent ears. The world outside is cruel and wicked, she would warn. Stay here with me. I am the only one who can protect you. Rapunzel believed her, because she had no reason not to. She spent her days singing, cleaning, dreaming, and brushing her endless golden hair. Her voice, at first soft, grew strong and breathtakingly pure. It carried through the forest like a beam of light. One day, a young prince was riding through the woods when he heard her song. He stopped his horse, completely stunned. That voice, it sounds like hope itself. He followed the enchanting melody until he found the hidden tower. Day after day, he returned, watching from a distance, trying to solve the mystery of the beautiful voice. At last, he saw the truth. Dame Gothel stood at the base of the tower and called out, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. A magnificent golden braid fell from the high window, and the old woman climbed up it. When she left later, the tower fell silent once more. The prince knew what he had to do. One evening, after Gothel had gone, he gathered his courage. He stood where she had stood and called out in his best imitation, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. Down came the golden braid. When he climbed inside, Rapunzel gasped in fear. She had never seen another person besides Gothel. But the prince bowed gently. I mean you no harm, he said softly. I came because your song touched my soul. No one had ever spoken to her with such kindness. She listened, captivated, as he told her stories of the world outside, of bustling roads, vibrant markets, and children playing in the warm sunlight. As he spoke, her heart ached with a longing for a world she had never seen. I want to leave, she whispered, her voice filled with a newfound desire. And I will help you, he promised. Their meetings became their shared secret, a hopeful and frequent ritual. The prince brought her flowers from the meadow, smooth stones from the river, and most importantly, he brought her hope. Together, they began to plan her escape, weaving a ladder of silk, piece by piece, that she could use to climb down. But an illusion can never fool forever. Gothel began to sense a change in Rapunzel, a new light in her eyes, a quiet rebellion in her spirit. One day, the truth came tumbling out. You have betrayed me, Gothel hissed, her face contorted with fury. With terrifying speed, she took a pair of shears and cut off Rapunzel's magnificent golden hair. Then, she banished the heartbroken girl to a barren, desolate wasteland to fend for herself. That night, Gothel waited in the tower. When the prince called out, she let down the severed braid. He climbed, expecting to see his love, but found only rage. "She's gone," the sorceress sneered, "and you will never see her again." In utter despair, the prince leapt from the tower window. He fell into a patch of thorns below, which pierced his eyes, leaving him blind and broken. Years passed. The prince wandered the world, a blind beggar, guided only by the memory of a song and the pain of his loss. Meanwhile, Rapunzel survived in the harsh desert. She grew strong and resilient, raising the twin children she had borne in silence and solitude. Then one day, a faint sound reached the prince's ears. He heard it, her song, faint but unmistakable. He followed the sound, stumbling forward with renewed purpose, until their paths finally crossed once more. They wept in each other's arms, a torrent of sorrow and relief. And as Rapunzel's tears filled with the magic of her love and grief fell upon his eyes, a miracle happened. His sight returned. Together, with their children, they returned to the prince's kingdom. They were reunited with family and welcomed with open arms, crowned not with power, but with a love that had conquered all odds. And what of Dame Gothel? She, and the tower that was her prison, vanished as if they had never been, because no stone wall, no matter how high, can hold a soul that has been awakened by love.